So the internet frenzy supposedly peaked around 2000. But if you think about it, yes, the frenzy did, but we must have plateaued because everybody uses it. They use it for shopping. And as the devices changed, so now that you see tablets, more people are using tablets for e-reading, for even shopping. You can control your interactive TV device with your iPad or with an iPhone. That changes the way a lot of people do their normal course of work or live their lives. You will see that the connection between the various industries and between what people do with these internet technologies just expand. We're going to have an iPad where you can basically control the temperature in your house, prepare a movie so that when you get home it's there. Potentially, even if you're into aromatherapy, you have some nebulizer that is automatically connected that will have a certain scent when you walk in, as well as possibly order a pizza so the minute you walk in through the door, that pizza's there. That is the integration of technology, and it's all because it's facilitated by an ergonomic hardware that the consumer likes. And this can transcend between the business, just business to consumer, as well as business to business in terms of ordering pallets, understanding where products are at any given point in time. So we're now at a period where organizations are re-architecting themselves around these internet technologies. They say we must be in the mobile space or we must be in these spaces, but they're looking at it differently. They're not. Some companies are not going to make the same mistakes that were made in the year 2000. However, some companies continue to make the same mistakes, and that holds true regardless of if we're talking internet technologies or something else. Real gains come when internet technology adapts to organizations and people. And this goes back to one of the first things we said. It's the people that are ultimately important. Have the people in your organization realized how to leverage the technology to the fullest extent, that they are delivering what the customer or what our business partner ultimately wants. Your book argues that it'll be quiet compared to the frenzy of 99 and 2000. And while it may be a little bit subdued from the financial end, I think the revolution will actually be different. It will be more organic. That's why you see things in social media populating across. We've seen political revolutions, and if we're talking in a government setting or a socio-political setting, that's just as much of a frenzy as anything else. You have 1 billion customers on Facebook and hundreds of millions on Twitter and all these different social media sites. So I'm not really sure that the frenzy itself is over. From a CIO perspective, they're shifting from buying expensive proprietary products to cheap generic products. And that's why you'll see things like open source software or virtualization of servers, commoditization of items. Basically, what we want is we want repeatable standards. This whole notion here of Dellification, using the same PCs, servers, printers, and so forth. If you think about it, it's very much like the Southwest model. You have the same type of airplane, so it makes it easier to fix, replace, maintain, and purchase new ones. Google runs on 100,000 cheap servers. There's a video that is on one of the modules that will show you about the Google data center, which is actually excellent. If one of the servers breaks, it's much cheaper to throw it away and put in a new one than it is to try and fix what you have. So cheap occurs in a lot of different areas, from labor, where we outsource to other countries, but it's very important that you focus on commodity items. You can't just outsource people who are very good at creative solutions or integration. That's not what you want to outsource. You want to outsource things that are very, very easy to push aside, like a service. Give me the weather and keep a database for the weather at a certain point in time, or a zip code database. Telecommunications, voice over IP, or even maintaining basic software like the Linux operating system or even Microsoft Office. So dot-coms became the dot-bombs because they didn't generate profit. So your book goes through the dot-com menace of Episode 1 and Episode 2, Profitability Strikes Back, on the Star Wars themes. Some companies have learned that lesson, others haven't, and they continue to make the same mistakes. But it is possible to have technology, especially the internet, be a complement to the strategy or part of the overall strategy. The strategy must be, what is our ultimate goal from a business objective, and what are the tools that we need to actually accomplish that? And more likely than not, the tools that you will need are IT-based. From an e-business driver, the key components that have accelerated the rapid growth and acceptance of e-business: wide access to a public network, a standard communication protocol, standard interface. And what this means is that it's available to everybody because we're all using the same communication protocol, HTTP. And the standard interface is a browser. It makes it very lightweight, very easy. You can use it on a mobile phone, you could use it on a Mac, you can use it on a PC. The e-business applications run over the internet, and they're very, very cheap to run. You'll see Google Apps, applications in the cloud, as they'll call it. These things, I can run an entire organization just on Google Apps. Now, you can make the argument of whether that's a good idea or a bad idea, but the idea is that that's what happens. Even Microsoft has basically gotten into this by taking their Microsoft Exchange solution and putting it into the cloud so that you never have to maintain your emails anymore. Many universities are basically outsourcing it because it became to Microsoft or to Google because it's just too complex to maintain when they can just pay someone to actually do it on a per megabyte, per gigabyte basis, per user basis. So as a result, a much broader set of users have access to a lot of systems. Before, a lot of these systems were only available to organizations. Now, anyone can have access and create their organization to mirror one of these bigger organizations. So there was an interesting article, IT Doesn't Matter, written by Nicholas Carr in Harvard Business Review. I'd ask you to actually read this because it says, and does IT really still matter or not? And do we consider IT as really just an afterthought, a tool? Do we need to really focus in on it? And there was a response of why IT does matter. So I'd ask you to actually go in and read that and take a look at those two articles and then post something on the discussion board regarding whether or not you believe that it does matter or it doesn't matter. And so the articles are easily available online and through the library, so I ask you to go through the resources and acquire them. So we'll see you back for the second part of Module 3 very shortly.